All right, guys, I've been wanting to do a video on this house. Finally, I get to do it on my trip in Europe. And I'm doing this video from a discovery set. This is the house of Perfumehead. This is a discovery set called the Icons, and there's a bunch of different fragrances in here. So there's 9 total fragrances, and I've actually spoken about one of them on the channel maybe once or twice. It's the La La Love, but all of the fragrances are here up to last year, and I'm gonna break it down and give you my first impressions of all of the fragrances in this discovery set coming right up. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm Sebastian, talking to you about Perfumehead. Let me know if you're familiar with this house. I do have to say the fragrances are super expensive, so I think it's best to get a discovery set to discover the fragrances and see if there's something that you want to pick up. But they come in 3 sizes. There's a 30 ml for $250, 50 ml for $395, 100 ml for $615. This is current prices off of their website, and they all come in Extrait de Parfum concentration. Let me know if you're familiar with this house. Let me know what you've sampled. And again, let's break it down with the fragrances in the discovery set. This is the best way for me to do videos from discovery sets while I'm traveling, because I can't carry all the bottles with me and I want to shoot content while here when I have some downtime. This is a 5.5 week trip I'm on, and so I just thought, let me make some time in the hotel room and shoot a couple of videos. So we've got 9 different samples, and here are the 9 samples broken down like this. And I'm going to do the video in alphabetical order. So the first one I'm going to talk to you about, Alone Together, right there. So if you've sampled these fragrances, let me know what your thoughts are. Alone Together was launched in 2022, like the majority of the fragrances. I believe one of them also here from this collection was from 2023, and a final one, the one I spoke about on the channel from the bottle, is called La La Love, and that one came out in 2024. So Alone Together came out in 22. It's a citrus aromatic fragrance created by Céline Perdriel, and again, they're all Extrait de Parfum concentration, very expensive fragrances, so use caution when buying. Don't do a blind buy on these, because if you don't like it, you're going to end up not being very happy. So I think the discovery set purchase is perfect, especially if you want to discover a brand new house, such as this house, Perfumehead. And they are a USA house, by the way. So this Alone Together has notes of verbena, Peruvian lime, red mandarin, bergamot for top notes. Heart notes features pink pepper, basil, Jamaican pimento, and geranium. And then finally in the base notes, we've got lavender super, vetiver, patchouli, moss. So those are the notes. And Céline Perdriel is a perfumer that I've spoken about recently for the fragrances of Atelier Materi. I just did a video on their Extrait de Parfum fragrances, and she created those fragrances along with other fragrances from that house. And I enjoy her creations, and she does some good work. So let's check these out. Last thing before I smell this fragrance, I haven't smelled any of these fragrances that I'm gonna talk to you about today, except for La La Love. So if you are familiar with these, do let us know, add a comment below what your thoughts are. All right, so citrus aromatic, meaning combining citruses along with aromatic herbal notes. I'm smelling this already. It is an Extrait de Parfum. It's super strong. It is reaching me without even putting my nose to the strip, which is a good thing. I like it when that happens. If I have to reach over and put my nose to the strip, it means it's pretty weak. And this is a citrus aromatic, so these are usually the lightest fragrances. And so the fact that it's reaching my nose without even putting my nose to the strip, it's a great thing, right? But I'm actually enjoying what I'm smelling. I should say it's not something I haven't smelled before, but I really love this combo. They would make perfect fragrances for, summer wear when it's hot and humid. If you live in a hot climate, tropical climate, these are the kind of fragrances you're gonna wanna wear. So this is uber astringent, tart, sour, but also balanced with aromatics and some light sweetness there. So the lime and the verbena gives you this kind of astringency, the mandarin giving you a bit of sweeter citruses, and then of course the bergamot generally is nice balance of sweet and tart, but with a floral edge. So those are what is really picking up here up top, and I love the way this smells. This smells fantastic. but it is a citrus. It is quite expensive. I think this is something in the ballpark of Bergamot 22 from Le Labo. It is an Extrait de Parfum, unlike that fragrance, which is eau de parfum. Another thing this is reminding me of is Neo from Xerjoff. If you like these kind of fragrances, you're probably going to enjoy this. This one does have a bit of a classic edge, and I think it's the fact that it's combining some spices with aromatics. I really like this. This is really, really great. This would be perfect to test in the heat, to see how it wears in the heat. But I have a feeling, since it reached my nose when I first sprayed it, I think it's pretty potent as a fragrance. All right, so this is Alone Together. Really, really wonderful is the sample. I like their packaging and all that kind of stuff. So the design and everything is great. So Alone Together is a great citrus fragrance. Let me know if you sampled it. Let's move on to the next fragrance. So the next one is called Canadian Tuxedo. So I'm doing this in alphabetical order, as I said, and this one's also created by Céline Perdriel. This, once again, the prices are the same. They're all Extrait de Parfum fragrances, and this one features notes of coriander, orange flower, bay leaf, and mandarin for top notes. Heart features cumin, patchouli, cedarwood, and elemi resin. Finally, in the base notes, tonka beans, Peru balsam, cistus absolute, warm musk. Sounds pretty neat, right? Starts off fresh and citrusy, later revealing kind of an ambery warm side. So let's sample it and see what it's all about. If you've gotten your nose on this one, let me know. If you own any of their fragrances, also let me know. The fragrance, like the first fragrance I sampled, seems very high quality and also highly concentrated. I get the Extrait de Parfum, but the first one I sampled was a citrus aromatic. So the citruses are some of the lightest fragrances. So let's see how something with a little bit more depth is gonna come off. We'll see. So still not smelling it, and I'm smelling it. I sprayed it and immediately it came to my nose. Wow. Canadian Tuxedo. I wonder where that name comes from. I haven't read any of the descriptions on the fragrances. All the notes breakdowns are taken from the brand's website though. I skipped the descriptions. I just wanted to make sure I understand what notes are featured in a fragrance because it kind of gives me an idea. This is definitely an amber spicy. Wow, I'm really, really liking it. And it's also pretty potent. I haven't even put my nose on this one. I love amber fragrances. There's something super sexy about this one that's really, really exciting in an invigorating way. There's something invigorating happening. And I feel like, remember it started off citrusy and fresh up top and it's getting warm and kind of deeper and warmer in the base. Wow. So there's some spicy, smoky, incensey touches in here as well. Really, really wonderful. The only negative with this house so far is the price point. They're really, really expensive. But this is actually taking me back to like 12, 13, 14 years ago when I was really first starting to dig into the niche world. Like really starting to buy stuff that I hadn't really experienced when I was only focused on the, the designer's world. This is an incense, and even though it's Extrait de Parfum, there's something super refined about it and super sexy once again. That's top notch. Really, really wonderful. And that's 2 so far in the list that I'm liking. And we've done 2 out of 9. And both of them are created by Céline Perdriel. I really like her creations, by the way. This is great. And then going back to the one fragrance I've spoken about on the channel, Lala Love. I really like that one too. So 3 fragrances, really high quality. Great work. All right, the third fragrance we're going to talk about is Cosmic Cowboy. It's right here. So this is a different perfumer by the name of Constance George-Picot. Definitely sounds like a French perfumer, although maybe a French name. But once again, same prices, Extrait de Parfum concentration, and this fragrance features notes of galbanum, cinnamon bark, orris, and lavender for top notes. Heart features whiskey a go-go, angelica root, tobacco leaf, tonka bean. Finally, in the base notes, we've got decadent amber, cacao blanc, suede, and black musk. So what are your thoughts on the notes breakdown for this? I've never experienced any fragrances from this perfumer, Constance George-Picot, although maybe I just don't know what fragrances she's done. But this is the first time I'm hearing her name come up, and let's see how how this fragrance is. And I believe La La Love is created by the same perfumer. I think her name comes up quite frequently for this house, so the brand must like the way, you know, to work with this perfumer. So Whiskey A Go Go, I guess it's referring to the nightclub in Los Angeles, and yeah, it's Boozy. I'm getting the boozy notes right now. So between the first two and this one seems lighter. Very ambery, very sweet, but not sugary, candied sweet. Just a spicy sweetness, but very, very boozy and also smoky and woody. Something in there that that's what it is. There's something musky in there as well. Like there's a slight funk. I like this, but once again, the first and the second were really loud. This one, there's a subtleness about it. But in the end, I like that booziness, the warmth and sweetness and spiciness with that kind of muskiness. I think the muskiness on my skin is definitely going to, you know, make it come out more, because the skin does some strange things to fragrances, and sometimes good things, lots of times good things to fragrances. And for me, if it's musky, it's gonna bring out the musky notes much more. Another good one. So I'm kind of impressed with the quality so far. So the work that's gone to putting the fragrances together with the different perfumers as a brand, I think is quality so far. But not many people talk about this house, but it makes sense because it's very, very pricey fragrances. All right, the next one is the one fragrance I have spoken about on the channel. I believe I featured it in a video of amber fragrances, and that is La La Love. There was actually a song in the 2000s from an indie band called La La Love. Can't remember who the band was, but this is also Constance, George-Picot, as I had mentioned. Same price as Extrait de Parfum, and this features notes of cognac, saffron, davana, nutmeg for top notes. Heart notes features vanilla absolute, sandalwood, black tea, and incense. And the base notes is Peru balsam, tonka beans, smoked amber, and musk. And this one's really, really solid, really potent amber fragrance. So I must be enjoying the brand's DNA. So far, so good. All four fragrances I've liked. Of course, I have to test these out on skin to see how they wear. But as far as smells go, which is how I decide which fragrance I want to test, is first putting it on my nose and seeing if I like the way it smells. If I like the way it smells enough to put it on skin, if that makes sense. Oh yeah, this one's definitely, for sure, really potent, ambery, also vanillic. There's smoky, spicy touches here, for sure. And I could smell it without even putting it to my nose. So these fragrances are created really potently, and that's what I like about them. Really, really wonderful, potent, you know, experiences here with these fragrances. So this one's dark and resinous and also balsamic. And I remember wearing this one. It's been a while since I've worn it, but I remember it being quite dry. It's not like a syrupy amber. It's got a dry characteristic, but the balsamic notes kind of creates a bit more of a syrupy consistency mixed in with the dryness. But really solid work here. Really, really wonderful. La La Love. If anybody remembers that song, let me know. All right, the next fragrance is called Moonflower, which is right here. Obviously, the word flower makes makes me think it's going to be a floral fragrance. This is created by Arnaud Winter. Once again, similar price point, Extrait de Parfum concentration on all of these fragrances. And so they're really super potent, long-lasting fragrances, but also very, very expensive. This one features notes of cool air, blood orange, tuberose, and cardamom for top notes, heart notes, orange flower, moonflower, night blooming jasmine, and gardenia. Finally, in the base notes, elemi resin, moss, patchouli, white musk. This one sounds like a white floral bomb. Also, citrus flowers come in as well. Let me know if you're a fan of floral notes, white flowers, citrus floral notes. Or do you stay away from these kind of notes? Because if you're a man, you consider them feminine leaning. So I have a feeling this is going to be ultra creamy, fresh. Oh, I could smell it. These are made strong. I don't even have to put my nose to these fragrances because they're big. If you like big fragrances, you're going to like these. But it's not my favorite fragrance. There is something, not indolic, but there's a animalic quality about the floral notes in this. There's a muskiness that I'm not digging. This is not my favorite genre. I enjoy white floral notes in general, but for me, this is a pass. I will not wear this one. Now, it might grow on me later if I circle back to it, but as a initial spray, white floral notes are not my top favorite notes. So when I smell it and I smell the white floral notes, I move on. But sometimes I come back to them and I think, oh my God, why did I dismiss this one? But for now, this is not a favorite of mine. Okay, the next fragrance is called Reine des Anges. I think that's how you say it. It's in French. So this one is created by Florie Tanquerel, another perfumer I'm not familiar with. The previous perfumer I'm unfamiliar with as well. So same price point again, Extrait de Parfum, and this fragrance features notes of Turkish rose, Moroccan rose, saffron, China-small, which is pink pepper, heart notes geranium, angelica root, ambrette seeds, Peru balsam. Finally in the base notes, patchouli, amber, vetiver, and musk. Let me know if you've sampled this one, and let's see what it's all about. This one sounds like just a rose bomb. Having a little bit of a challenge opening up these little boxes because one of the flaps is kind of turned in and it tears off. But it's great presentation, honestly, though. Great samples, great packaging, just that one flap kind of stays in and you know, kind of breaks off if you squeeze it out too much. Okay, once again, I'm smelling it. It's super strong, very, very rosy. I picked up something musky and funky and also spicy. Like there's a sweaty quality here. I'm getting cumin, which is not here. There's a slight reminder of Portrait of a Lady, but not identical. I think it's giving me Chypre vibes because of the patchouli and the rose Chypre vibe. I like this one a lot more than the previous fragrance, but I think it's not my most favorite. And I love Portrait of a Lady. I love Chypre fragrances. This one, I feel like there's something sweaty and funky that kind of reveals itself off the strip and goes away and then reveals itself again. Even when I first sprayed it in the air, it did that as well. So there's some slight funk in here that they've put in, something musky, something sweaty, but it's quite spicy. It's a lot of spice here. It's the kind of a spicy, rosy fragrance. And it could be that there's the musk that's revealing itself, giving you a slight funk. But I got this cumin vibe that kind of disappeared, but the musk keeps coming back a little bit by little. Oh, the ambrette seeds also probably causing something like that. I like this one. Still very potent, not my all-time favorite, but we were going several fragrances in a row that I was really enjoying. And this one I think is going to require testing on skin, but the previous fragrance, I don't think I'm going to test it because it's definitely not my favorite style. Okay, 3 more fragrances left. The next one is called Room Number, without a number there. This is created by Constance George-Picot. Once again, I guess she's pretty much doing a lot of the fragrances for this house, several of them. I think she did 4, 5. So once again, same price point, Extrait de Parfum, and this one features notes of bergamot, nutmeg, orris, Jamaican pimento for top notes. Heart notes is guaiac wood, black tea, palo santo, cashmere wood. Finally, in the base notes, we've got leather, vanilla absolute, milky musk, and Peru balsam. Room number, but let's see what this one's all about. If you've gotten your nose on these, do let us know, add a comment below. What are your thoughts on the fragrances so far? What do you think about the price point? They're quite pricey, luxurious, but they're the luxurious variety with kind of a minimalistic look rather than the kind of gaudy gold kind of Middle Eastern style, which I like both, but I kind of prefer this more. This is more in line with something like Frederic Malle, but much more pricier than some of their fragrances. So this one did hit my nose. I got the smell, not as loud and beefy. And also definitely not my favorite once again. So I think we were going in several fragrances that I really were enjoying. I'm not the biggest fan of this one. It's not to say it's not a great fragrance. It's leathery, it's spicy, slightly sweet and powdery. This one also, just like the previous one with the rose, it's gonna require some testing on skin. But as far as the smell goes, it wasn't like a wow when I first tested the first few. This one, you know, there's fragrances that you like, wow, that smells so good, I wanna wear it. And this one, it smells good. I wouldn't rush out about it. Forgetting the milkiness, there's something creamy, milky happening in here as well. Just like the rose one previously, I need to test it to see if I like it. But as a smell right off the top, I'm not that excited about it. Does that make sense? Okay, we've got two more. The next one is called Somewhere. This one right here. Wasn't that a film by Coppola? I think it was. But Somewhere is created by same Constance, George-Picot, once again, same price point. And Extrait de Parfum, and it features notes of bergamot, neroli, red mandarin, and galbanum for top notes. Heart features cumin, jasmine, orange flower, and orris. Finally, in the base notes, we've got vetiver, patchouli, sandalwood, and oak moss. Sounds pretty good so far. Let's see how it is. I love galbanum in fragrances. I love the greenness in galbanum. Let me know if you guys are fans. And again, if you've sampled this line, let me know what your thoughts are. I believe this is an LA-based brand. I don't know too much about the brand overall, and I'm loving this one. Smelling so good. Ooh. So with a few that didn't really excite me, this one does. And it's that's a nice juxtaposition of this. It's nicely juxtaposed with freshness and more deeper notes. And that's kind of what I like, the contrasts here. I like the citrusy touches. It's potent, but it's also exciting the way it smells, whereas the last two, the rose and the white floral ones, and then the leather, I like them. I just didn't love them, you know? The white floral one was definitely a no-no. And the previous two I have to test. This one I actually would wear because it's got this fresh, juicy citrusiness, and it kind of is settling to more of something deeper and richer and things like that. It kind of reminds me of one of the fragrances when we first smelled, I believe the very first one, the kind of classic style citrus aromatic, but definitely different, not identical. This would be great for warm weather. I think this would smell great. Starting off kind of very fresh and invigorating, but getting deeper and deeper as it's settling. Now this one, next to the first fragrance that was citrus aromatic, I believe we'll experience differently for sure. Just giving me similar vibes is what I'm saying. Yeah, this one's good. This is Somewhere. All right, and then the last fragrance, XANABOUD. It's the last fragrance created by Constance, George-Picot once again. Same prices, 30 ml for $250, 50 ml for $395, 100 ml for $615. Extrait de Parfum concentration. All of these fragrances are long-lasting, really intense fragrances, which is what I love. And XANABOUD features notes of osmanthus, Turkish rose, Indian jasmine, bergamot for top notes. Heart features oud, cardamom, gurjun balsam, Jamaican pimento. Finally, in the base notes, we've got labdanum, vanilla bean, Italian leather, and patchouli. It sounds like an amber woody leather fragrance, and I think they have quite a few amber fragrances, which most of them do seem quite nice. But this one is throwing in the oud, and that's why it's called XANABOUD. Let's see if it's animalic leaning. And I'm actually liking this perfumer's creations for this house, Constance George-Picot. Anybody familiar with this perfumer? Has she done anything else for other brands? Let me know. I'm just not familiar with the work. Ooh, this is smoky. Yeah, and musky, leathery for sure. Wow. Oh, this is animalic, but a bit chocolatey. Chocolate, almost like carob. I'm getting carob. I think all the notes combined together is giving me like a chocolate / carob vibe. This would be perfect for the Middle Eastern market, I think. Wow, this is good. Really, really quality work here with these fragrances. Really loving them. Oh, spicy for sure. I'm getting cumin vibes here. Oh boy. And I'm not a big fan of the oud lately. This is really doing it for me. Really nicely done. I have to test it out on skin if it gets animalic, but it's got a lot of depth. It's got a lot of spice, a lot of leather, earthiness, and of course the oud. And even though it feels like the oud's gonna be quite animalic, it's not like super, super funky and skanky, but there's skank here for sure. Really great work. XANABOUD. Guys, let me know if you're familiar with this house, Perfumehead. Are you familiar with their fragrances? Let me know. Put a comment down below, and I'd like to find out. If you have a favorite fragrance from this house, let me know what it is. And I'm impressed with the quality. Again, it's very, very expensive, very, very highly priced fragrances, but really top-notch quality. And again, perfumers I haven't heard about or unfamiliar with, but they've done great work for this house. And the brand has curated, really quality work for their releases. So they've done a great job with the releases from this house. But let me know your thoughts on Perfumehead. add a comment below so I can find out. And thanks so much for watching today's video. If you have any questions or comments, please list below. Please like this video, please share it. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.